Hi, I'm Shelly with Gilbert Marketplace, and today I'm going to show you how I made these cute faux Hostess cupcakes. They look just like the old-fashioned chocolate cupcakes by Hostess, but these are obviously pretend, and I'm going to show you the materials we use to make them. So you can pick up a floral cube. You can get these at the dollar store. You can get those at a lot of different places actually, but it's just foam. You'll need some chalk paint or brown paint, doesn't really matter. This one happens to be Cafe Noir. I did pick this just up at Walmart. You will need this mold light, and I also picked that up at Walmart. And a cookie cutter. I didn't have one, so I'll use a cup. And just make sure that your cup or whatever is like the same size, so that's gonna be how we make the frosting. And just get yourself a rolling pin, and if you have 2 paint sticks, that will be really helpful to make it smooth too. Well, let's cut this open, and we're gonna do a fast job on this because nobody wants me to waste time watching me paint. So let's get this. Whew. A lot of times I just pour it right in the lid. No sense of wasting paint. But what you're gonna do is we're gonna paint this. And it does use a generous amount of paint. But this color is perfect. It looks just like it. I'm gonna pour it right on here. This will save me a little bit of time. Like I said, we're gonna try to do this quick. And then I'll kind of set this aside. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna do this whole project and get this all brown. You wanna do the top, bottom, and sides, okay? My assistant over here will finish that up for me. So hopefully that will dry. And then you'll get that painted, you obviously let that dry. Next, we're gonna move on to this magic mold light. It's clay, it's like really light and kind of airy. This really feels kind of cool. Okay, so we'll just take a chunk of that. I don't know, you think that's a good amount? All right, perfect. So we got that. And what we're using these 2 wood sticks is, the reason, just like the real bakers here, what you'll do is that's gonna be so that we'll end up with our layer to be the proper thickness. So just take your rolling pin and you're gonna roll it. Now my counter is bumpy, so that's why I put paper down, and obviously it's kind of a little bit inconvenient, but my counter is a faux granite leather, so it has texture to it. If you had a plain counter, you would need no paper, but we're just going to put that on there and get that nice and smooth. As you can see, I'm struggling a little here. I'm trying to make it a little bit smoother here. This paper, I should have taped it down. I'm gonna pull it because I need it a little wider. Obviously, we need it to be the, I'm gonna push this. And you don't have to worry, because if it gets a little dirty, like I can already see I got some brown from when I did it earlier. It doesn't matter because we're gonna paint it brown anyway. Okay, now we should get this. So, but you want to get it nice and smooth. There we go. We're getting somewhere now. There you go. All right, perfect. Got that done. Now, if you had a cookie cutter, this would be more, you know, it's better, but it is what it is, you know? I'm using what I have. I don't know where they are. I probably have them somewhere. So then we'll just pull this off, and then this is the problem with not using a proper cookie cutter. All right, so now I have my circle. Now this is really soft, and I'm just gonna make sure my edges are smooth. If they're not real smooth, that's okay. You could just use a little bit of water if you need to, but right now it's still super pliable. But if you need like you got a little spot or something, then you could just use a little water on your finger and you know, smooth it out. Let me see, I did, I think, get a little, I'm gonna try this. I got a little wrinkle in my, when my finger touched it. But you know what, that's all right. Okay, so now hopefully we've got this done. We're gonna let this sit aside too. So she's got my chocolate cake now done. And then this will be my frosting, but we're gonna paint this now, but I'm gonna let this dry for a second. Okay, then with this extra piece, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna roll it, and you're gonna try to make this consistently the same thickness. I felt like this was the part that was honestly the biggest challenge out of the whole thing. They're so easy. I don't do a lot of faux foods. I did the milk. You can catch my other video on the faux milk. I done milk for Santa. But I really haven't done much with the faux foods. I'm always impressed by them. I just think they're really kind of cool and fun. My mom was a baker, and so she probably could do a really good job, but I'm not a big frosting fan, you know, trying to get all that done. But this one I thought, oh, this looks easy. All right, let's see. So now, let's get that out of our way. Like I said, this counter isn't the smoothest. We're gonna see if we can do this, but we're gonna try to get this rope. You know, it needs to be really thin, because you know how the cake has that little scrollies on it. This is what we're making. And like I said, this is probably the hardest part of the whole cupcake. I mean, it's not very difficult. Now also, you know, you could do the one, and if you want to do this one, then what I did is I just took a chunk out. So, and then I just put a glob of the mold light in the middle, because that looked like the frosting in there. But let's get this. This is the trickier part. Let's get this rolled out. Okay. Now that we have that, I think it will be long enough. Okay, so let me show you. I want to make sure my hand's in there. Okay, so just kind of hold this end down, because you need the tail, and then you're going to make a loop and set it. And then you're just going to take it and make a loop and set it. And a loop and set it. Okay, we're not trying to mush it down or anything like that. Just a loop. So hold it straight and make a loop. Hold it straight and make a loop. So you're just kind of setting them. And make a loop. Now this probably, yeah, it's definitely big enough. So actually I don't even think we need that last one. And so then I'm just gonna pinch it off, because there's always like a little tail on these. And we'll just mold it down there. So now this is our cake topper. So this is still drying, but what we're going to do is we're gonna hot glue this right onto the top. And you know what, I think, well, it's wet, I'm gonna do it anyway. Might be a little messy, but try to get it to the ends, only because when it dries, it may lift a little. But let's just do this for video's sake. We're going to put this right on top, just like that. And it really won't matter if we get a little brown on there, because it's going to be brown. You don't change colors, you don't do anything different. Okay, you can see it's obviously still wet. And we're going to pour a little of this brown on here. Guess I could have used a hairdryer to help, you know, dry it. But you're going to paint this and get the edges. Yeah, a little paint never hurt no one, right? everybody. Hope everyone's doing good tonight. These are just a little fun project, and they're really quick. You know, probably cost you about, to buy all the supplies if you don't have anything, about $10. Make a couple cupcakes for that. So not an expensive project, kind of fun, like I said. Okay, so that's on there. That's really, like I said, pretty wet. And we would let this dry, and then we'll also take the hot glue and put that on there and then just drop it on. So I hope that shows you how we did it. And it was just a quick tutorial, but I hope you enjoy it. Everyone have a great night. Again, it's Shelly with Gilbert Marketplace. You can follow me on Home Talk, YouTube, and find me on Facebook. Thanks. Have a great day.